My SAE is primarily in the area of forage crop production. I lease and rent 300 acres of brome grass, 350 acres of prairie hay grass, and I also have 18 acres of row crop ground that I do a rotational program of corn and soybeans on. Also, through my SAE, I've been able to develop a market for custom haying work, which is primarily big round bales and also doing swathing jobs for neighbors and fellow farmers. I got my start in the summer of 2011 when a neighbor came to me and my parents and wanted me to put up his 30 acres of prairie hay grass. I was really intrigued with the idea, and I did enjoy putting up grass, so my dad thought, hey, why don't we keep track of your hours, and then whatever hours you work for over the summer, we will have to take off what the machinery cost is for you to put up this grass. And then that way you can make money on it and become more diversified. Little did I know that would slowly continue to increase because I was offered the rest of the haying contracts that were of brome and prairie hay for the next coming years to allow me to grow to what I am today. And I still have the labor exchange program with my parents, and I've also achieved full ownership of about half of my haying equipment.
My SAE program is diversified. I have both the crop side and the livestock side. With the livestock, I own sheep. I own 38 mature ewes, 10 replacement ewes, and 2 rams. And that number's built up over the years from keeping back replacement lambs that were either show animals that I had the previous year or even just ewes that we thought would work well within our flock. Within the cropping side there, I cash rent acres from my dad where I raise wheat, milo, and beans. I've really enjoyed being able to show through the years and get to go to state level shows and over our county fair and either help younger 4-H members or FFA members or anyone when it comes to showing, and then also just the commercial side of it in general. A lot of the times when we're going back and looking at our flock, we're looking to promote and really hit genetics that are following the trends within the show industry. And so that's a huge thing to stay on top of if we're going to be competitive within the show ring. If we didn't have the genetics we have within our show lamb flock, I wouldn't have been able to be as successful throughout my years of showing. So it definitely plays a huge part in it.
My SAE is beef production entrepreneurship, and over time I've built that up. But in high school, I was really able to take off with this, and I've built my current numbers up to 67 head. And through that, I do the daily chores every day, feeding my cattle, feeding hay with them, checking that make sure they're all okay, the mamas and babies are happy, as well as making sure the minerals put out and just keeping everything running in smooth working order. I chose to make beef production entrepreneurship my SAE program because it's what I have a passion for. It's very enjoyable to me, as it's in a way a stress reliever to come home and just take care of these animals and to be their caretaker and tend for them. It just is an opportunity that's allowed me to meet people all over the country, and it's something that I don't regret doing because it's all I've ever known. One of the most rewarding moments through my beef production entrepreneurship SAE was when I took a bred-known bull, one that I'd raised, to Angus Junior Nationals in Grand Island, Nebraska, and we had the reserve national champion Angus bull there. And it was a rewarding experience because, yes, we did do very successful in the show, but it also got my name on a national level for potential customers, as well as his genetics were then promoted so that I could sell those genetics to other producers as well.
My SAE involves 20 head of cattle. 4 are solely owned by me, and 16 I lease from my grandfather. I leased the ground from my aunts. I got started in this SAE when I was in the 8th grade. My grandfather and father got rid of cattle like 30-some years ago. I have a huge interest in it since I was in 4-H and I show pigs and steers. So I mentioned it to them when I was about junior high. I said, hey, how about we get back into the cattle industry? And my grandpa was so excited and all for it. And so I went and got an FSA loan, bought 4 of my own heifers, and my grandpa got excited. He went to the sale barn and bought 16 old cows. And so I leased them from him. Having to go and be professional in front of an FSA loan officer and work out all those details, because they're very important, was I think just a good learning experience for me, honestly. I'd say livestock judging really helped me to understand structure interviews and speech contests helps me work with other people. Your CDEs, I think, they just let you grow in a variety of different talents. And so I think those definitely helped me out a lot.
My SAE, I own 35 registered head of Angus and Charolais, which then I sell the bulls in the spring through private treaty. I started off with just 17 head of cattle. They mostly consisted of my heifers that I had from showing previous years, my Charolais and my Angus. From there, I started multiplying based on heifers that had more heifers. Another skill that I've learned is through AI, matching EPDs create the best animal that you possibly can have. And also learning kind of that balance of, yes, I want to improve this skill, but not at the cost or of losing this trait that I really like in this cow. And it's kind of that quest to make a perfect animal that has been the most enjoyable and one of the skills I've picked up. My favorite part about my SAE is actually learning the wide branch that the production beef actually covers. When, like, through programs such as National Cattlemen's Beef Association or the state level on Kansas Livestock Association, there's actually a political aspect to it too. Learning how actually the industry comes together and seeks to actually benefit not just individuals, but actually everyone in the entire industry. So that's been one of the most favorite parts of this.
My SAE is small animal care and production. I own the Crazy Lady Rabbitry. The scope of my rabbitry is 6,000 rabbits. I maintain 100 does and 10 bucks. I started with just $35 and bought my first trio of Dutch rabbits. And I knew there had to be a way to get the price down for not only my family, but other 4-H families interested in the rabbit project. The second aspect of my rabbitry is meat rabbits. I started raising meat rabbits to provide my family with a source of protein. I'm from a family of 8, so since I started raising meat rabbits, we've consumed over 1,300 rabbits. And then the third aspect to my rabbitry is I take in hurt and malnourished rabbits, nurse them back to health, and then rehome them. Whenever you think about it, a trio of Dutches, $35. It doesn't sound too expensive for 3 rabbits, but I didn't know very much about them. So the ones that I bought wasn't very good show quality. So I knew that I had to do something so that way I wasn't cheating these little kids by making them pay $35 for 3 rabbits that they couldn't do very good at the fair. So I started developing a better quality rabbit, but I usually try to cut the other rabbitries in half. But if I know they're going to a good home, I really try to help with the price.
Well, my project is poultry reduction, where I've raised chickens for 5 years, either at my grandparents' or in my coop in my backyard. And I've made 2 breed selection changes and feed changes. And I've also made some other management decisions that helped me grow with those skills. And I've begun my SAE through just admiring the chickens at the farm store, and then we decided to get some after freshman year approaching and my family wanting me to join FFA, so we got them for egg production. I started with Rhode Islands, and because of them having trouble with illness and dying of heat stroke, we switched to Buffalo Ringtons, and they've done better laying in the cold months, and they are way more healthy and significantly more friendly to us. To be this Southwest Star Farmer, I felt honored because through my hard work and dedication and the growth of my project, I felt rewarded.